We are live.
We're live on YouTube and Facebook.
We live on Facebook. I didn't check.
We should be. We simul screaming.
Now, does it tell us? Does it tell us the Facebook viewers and? Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah, look, I see us. We're there and we're there.
Yeah.
StreamYard for the win. Yeah, we got so lucky finding that months ago. Whenever YouTube stopped their, what was it? Google Hangout streaming that we did before.
Yes. Google Hangouts.
Yep. So we had to find something else, and I went on a mission because Rob and I tried some of these third-party utilities, and we were given a really nice program that was very expensive to try out. It was just so complicated.
Yes, it was. And I didn't even play with it. I just know the complication from you talking about it when we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and I'm like a tech person. I enjoy doing that type stuff, and that program just drove me crazy. I was like, we can't do that. It's just it's like somebody, if you had a studio and you had somebody managing, the switching and all that stuff and all the inputs, that's cool. But it's like I told Rob, I said, I want something simple that we can click a few buttons and bam. And this is exactly what is going on with StreamYard. So
yeah. And then our buddy Skippo1 says new update is clutch. And if you guys don't know what he does to simul stream before, he was like having a screen. I mean, it is like that man deserves a trophy for doing what he does. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. Put some respect on his name.
Yep. Now he can save some of those computing cycles for doing his Bitcoining or whatever he does in the background.
Yeah, for sure. he's he's doing something.
Yeah. So now you got some more cycles on that machine there, brother.
Oh man, the third era is watching.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see the third era next week.
Yeah,
only a week away, and I know the people that are going to the finals. That's this weekend.
Yep.
So I'm not going to be in the finals. I don't think Rob is, but the weekend after that, we're going to be in Tejas.
Yes.
For the fall. We call it the fall OSS meet. That's the Scurry, Texas, the 19th and the 20th. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The night. Yeah. Yep. 19th. 20th for everyone that wants to stay and enjoy the fun the next day. But in case you guys hadn't noticed, I put a new video out today. Look, what's this right here? Do you see that? Do you see that?
12-volt tall SPL champ.
Yes.
Where'd you steal that from?
I stole it from you. It's just between me and you. That's all that really matters.
Oh, he didn't go there. I just pulled all the stuff out of my car because I like bowed. But now you start talking smack, you can make me cram it back in there.
And that's just the first try, man. I got something else going. We're gonna see if we can take down at least one more person. These Aussies are freaking taking over, man.
Oh well, if you've got 25 1-watt cheater amps, what can you do?
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, guys. So we just before we get started with the show here, Rob and I've been talking about our lack of having guests here lately, and that is solely
our fault.
This guy's fault.
Both of our.
I was trying to figure out how to point, but because it's backwards here on the screen, I'm pointing. But so we've attempted to get some people, but I think like Rob and I talked about before, if you don't really solidify dates, if you give people options for dates, then it makes it hard to get people. So we're gonna work better to get people on, and we may change our schedule to not be every week. It just depends. We'll let you guys know as soon as we can. That little bit of hair.
Yeah,
it's worth 1.4 dB. No, actually, the less hair helps the dBs because it bounces off. It doesn't stick in here. So. But anyway, So just to let you guys know what our plans are, we've had some awesome guests in the past. I mean, really, really great guests, and we're planning on having more. So we're going to work on that, and again, we may split the shows up to be maybe a couple times a month, like every other week. We'll let you know when we decide. So we're just changing things up a little bit. Rob and I both enjoy this tremendously. And you guys that hang out with us, we thank you so much for hanging out with us. But we have busy lives outside of this too, and we kind of feel sometimes like we're crunched. So we don't want to not give you the best content possible. So that's the reason we're trying to scale back a little bit, because we want to make sure that when we do this, we have the time and the energy to put out the best show possible. So that's kind of our plan. Hopefully it doesn't upset anybody too bad, but
yeah, we'll let y'all know for sure anyways once it goes down.
Yeah, we'll keep y'all in the loop.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in the full pipe. See, BMX reference. Yeah. How'd you like that?
Well, I only ride the half pipe, man. I can't ride the full pipe.
Yeah,
I can't even ride a bike anymore. I don't know.
I've never even been to the skate park, like riding, even back in the day when I did, because we didn't have any here that were easily accessible. I think most of them were like beat up. They crushed them all up. But now they've got all those cool little bike parks and stuff. We got several of them around here. But yeah, I see them and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get out there. I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
But I was so jealous of the kids having that now and us, having to build all dirt jumps and everything back in the day.
Oh, yeah, man. We always find abandoned construction sites and stuff and built in the way we wanted. But talking about audio, before we get into, I don't know what kind of questions we got. Did you see any?
Well, let's start up the podcast thing. We'll do that. Okay, I'll do the intro and then we'll get into that.
All right.
So we're episode 63. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2. 12 Volt Talk, episode 63. Your questions, our answers. What's going on, guys? This is Big D from Wilson Audio Labs, a.k.a. Big D Wiz, a.k.a. Old School Stereo, a.k.a. Big Dummy, in the house, as always, with my co-host, Mr. Rob Vega. What's going on, HiFiVega?
Yo, it's your boy, the 12 Volt Talk SPL champ, current reigning champ of the 12V Talk Nation.
What?
And that's just between me and Derek. You guys don't count because you're probably way louder than me.
He's making all this stuff up because I told him a couple weeks ago that I was probably kind of done. So he's like, yep, that's my chance to slide in and take it for the win.
Hey, that's how you do, man. You cannot, if you got to use everything to your advantage.
Hey, whatever, man. It's all good. If it makes you feel good. I've got a plaque, though, from Everyday Audios that spelled my name wrong, but hey, it's all good. It still says I'm a champ.
You don't you don't have that plaque in your hand until you have that. Don't talk until you got that plaque in your hand.
Whoever's going to the finals and also going to the old school meet in Texas, grab that from Taylor for me, please.
Yes.
If you're going to be at both.
Before he finishes his drink, like get it as he's just starting his drink.
Yeah, that's highly recommended. Highly recommended. So, Rob, you had some breaking news that you wanted to talk about some new products or something. What's up?
Yeah, so if you guys don't ever watch any home audio video or DIY type home audio stuff, you should check out 123 Toyed. He does a lot of home audio builds like cabinets, just a lot of Parts Express stuff. But he had an update video showing DATS version 3, which looks awesome. It's got like a nice little case. I'm not exactly sure what all they changed on that, but it should be a good update. I mean, DATS version 2 was awesome, so I can't wait. I'm hoping to get that as soon as it comes out. But more importantly, more excitingly, is they have an update to the reference line of Dayton drivers, which will be above the Ultimax, and they're called the High Excursion Dayton reference drivers. It's like the RSS HE, and they look beefy. They got like quad stack magnets, and they have like 30 millimeters of excursion, something like that, and they just look sick. So, would you see any of that?
Talk. That's crazy talk. Well, as you were explaining that breaking news, I was trying to look because people were saying that our stream on YouTube wasn't working, but I see it on YouTube, and I see we got 62 people on the stream. So refresh your screen if you're on YouTube. Well, if you're on YouTube, you're not seeing this. You don't know to refresh your screen. Anyway, it says it's working in both locations. And those who are listening to us on the podcast, they're probably saying, what are you talking about? Well, we stream this show live every week. And now since we have the ability to multicast, we can stream to YouTube and also Facebook at the same time, because Facebook has got all the people searching at night, looking at all their groups and having all their fun. And YouTube has got people watching, their cooking videos and how-tos and EXO based videos and stuff. So we're hoping maybe you'll come across our show if you haven't seen it before in one place or the other, or both. Have them going on at the same time. That's fine too.
Oh man, yeah, do it. You'd be a true OG if you watch us on YouTube and Facebook at the same time.
Just remember, Facebook is the devil.
Yes.
YouTube is the son of the devil, but YouTube kind of gives you a little bit of payback, and Facebook just keeps all your stuff for themselves.
Yeah.
Gobbles it up.
Well, they sell it to somebody else, so technically they're not really keeping it. They're kind of holding it.
Yeah, but they're benefiting, and we're not. All right, let's find some questions. You guys got some questions? Because if you don't, this is going to be a short show, or I'm going to have to talk about BMX. I know how some of you guys hate that. So as soon as you don't ask questions, I'm going to be.
Right.
Rick says we need to spread information about the OSS meetup next weekend.
We're doing a show.
Yeah, we'll do a show next week, but I don't usually put that on my YouTube channel because I don't know how many people it might reach, but I can put it on the little community tab and talk about it. But I probably won't do a separate video about that. But I don't know. Do we have like a list or we probably need to have an event listed on the page where people can actually say if they're coming or not, because usually if you have 150 that say they're coming, maybe 80 will show up.
Yeah. And I got a feeling this one's going to be huge, man. Already the amount of people that I've seen mention about it, they're coming. I think, it's going to be pretty big. And last year's was pretty big in its own right.
Yeah, and those that are coming or it's in Scurry, Texas. So if you're going to be able to make it on the 20th, the 19th, right? 19th is Saturday. 19th is the day Rob and I are going to be there. I think they're going to do it on the 20th also, but we're going to be heading up to Oklahoma because we're going to Kicker on Monday, and we're excited about that too. But if you are planning on coming, then what we do every year is we actually have a charity auction, and what we usually do is decide on a charity that we're going to give the money to, but then it's like you donate stuff like amplifiers or head units or speakers or RCAs, just any kind of car audio related. And sometimes it doesn't have to be car audio. If you have somebody ask about, what was it, a gift card or something, anything of value, because what we do is we sell raffle tickets, and then we do a drawing. And then like last year, who was it that won everything? Was it Wayne Harris? I think he wouldn't take anything, but he won everything.
Him and Mike Watkins.
Mike Watkins, those two. Every time I drew, and then it was you in the spring.
Yeah.
Remember, every time I drew in the spring, it was you. But so anyway, so all the money that we raise and the stuff that people donate, we either, like in the spring, the past couple of years, we've donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And then in the fall, we actually donated to the lady who let us use the facility, which is a really nice. It's kind of like I think of like a wedding rehearsal or wedding reception, maybe.
Yeah.
It's got a nice indoor location where they got refrigerators, they got a nice long table, and then outside they've got picnic tables, and they've got a pond and a place you can fish and a dock, and just it's really nice, and there's plenty of parking, lots of room to spread out. And last year noise wasn't an issue because I broke the Savard truck early, and they were the only one that was really, really loud.
Finally, he admits it, folks. Mike, I know you got the new GIF app on your phone. I need a GIF of that all time.
What was that last GIF he did, of the one with me with the big dummy book?
Yes, he done that, and then he done one when JDR was on the show, the got him one. So that's pretty good. And then, I want to mention too, Jesse, wish he could make it maybe next year. Jesse was so cool that he bought a mini bass meter, and he's mailing it out to people so they can compete. He done his numbers and then started circling it around so everyone can compete in the old school SS challenge. And I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. So people were saying they didn't get the update on YouTube, so just didn't tell them that we were going live. But the video is actually live.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's see if we got any questions. Bring in guests that are subscribers. Yeah, we kind of did that, and that's really cool. We're trying to get some people that are either in the industry or maybe behind the scenes in the industry, stuff like that. Let's see if we got any questions here.
Here you go from Hector. He just got his AMM1. Should he use the same minus 10 dB track that I used to set the gain on the sub amp?
So what you need to do with the AMM1 is you can either email 12volt talk at gmail 12vtalk at gmail.com, and I can send you the AD1 files, which they're files that ramp up like from negative 30 or negative 40 dB all the way up to 0 dB, and that's the ones that work best. You can use a solid test tone if you want to and just use your volume knob, but it's easier to use the other ones.
Our VHS is big rig accessible. I don't think it is. But then
no, the road getting to it is not. I mean, there's plenty of room in the parking for it, but the road getting to it isn't definitely not big rig accessible, unfortunately.
Yeah. But Rick said he'll pick him up. He said park at the Walmart and he'll drive up there and pick you up. Rick's the dude. So
we'll get you there for sure. We'll send somebody to get you if you can make it that close. I did say episode 63, didn't I? Oh, yeah. Good idea. Bring a chair.
For sure. Oh, here you go. Regulated or unregulated for SQ?
Wow. So that's a good question. So Sean King and I have talked about that before, and there's benefits and drawbacks to either design. Okay, so regulated keeps very similar power output between the lowest voltage it takes, which is usually around 11, up to 15 volts or so. So the power difference is going to be minimal between those. But the thing you have to remember with a regulated amp is if you're running it at lower voltage, in order for it to get the same amount of power that it's going to try to get, it's going to consume a lot of current. So I kind of like unregulated amps into the fact that if your voltage drops, then your current pull is going to drop too, and you're going to get less power. So that forces you to want to have a better electrical system, because you can really get in trouble if you use a regulated amp and you don't have the proper electrical, because it's going to pull the current if it doesn't have the voltage. So regulated amps are cool in the fact that they can, do about the same wattage with higher voltage. But just remember, it's going to try to pull a lot of current if your voltage drops, and that can be an issue. Make sure you got plenty of electrical for it to do that. As far as sound quality goes, that's subjective. That's like saying, does a tube amp sound better than a blah, 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 or does a record sound better than a CD, or does I don't know. The other options would be, does electrostatic sound better than traditional drivers?
It does.
That's all.
I'll answer that for you.
Go ahead. It does?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
That is
so all. Rob says it does.
Oh, man.
So which one's better, regulated or unregulated?
I don't know. They're
Warren G said it best.
Yeah.
Keep it regulated. Got to regulate.
Yeah.
That's bad.
But
yeah, but
Jason Zeimer. Can I donate something for the auction and send it to someone to support the effort? Sure you can, man. Hit me up in the you got my email.
Yep.
Work that out.
Absolutely.
Oh, here's a good one. Jason Casto asks, let's talk some old school flea market brands. This is like throwing a softball up to Big D, and he's got the biggest bat and he's ready. He's gonna put it right on the sweet spot.
Yeah, I love those. And Yeah, every time I come across one that's affordable, that's in really good shape, I'll get one. I've got a nice little stash of them so far. I've shown a lot of them off on YouTube, but I've got a few that I haven't shown yet. But yeah, I think they're super cool because some of them actually were pretty good bargains.
Yeah.
Some of them were junk.
Well, and the crazy thing is, like you were saying, the pile, a lot of them were made by Eminence, and a lot of them, or the Pyramid Super Blues, a lot of those were Eminence drivers that were actually very good drivers. But then you had Kingford, and what was the amp with the speaker in it?
King Wood.
King Wood. That's right. Oh man.
Those names, man, they just kill me. But it's funny to me to see the way some of them are named to try to trick people when they're walking through the flea market looking for deals on clothes and stuff, and they come across that amp that's got all the holes in it. It looks like a Rockford. Like, oh man, I'm going to show my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, show your friends that their head unit is more powerful than your amp.
Yeah, and then as soon as you leave, the guy got him.
Yeah, they're laughing all the way to the bank for sure.
Oh,
it makes you
man.
wonder what those things must have cost dealer costs. It must have been virtually nothing.
Yeah, who knows, man?
But,
I mean, who did Pyramid, or was it Thump that done the Phoenix Gold clones? You had one,
it
didn't you?
was Thump, yeah, Precision Audio Thump, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's actually pretty decent as far as those amps go, and I think they were not super cheap. But yeah.
Was there any ones that you remember that you haven't gotten yet, or that you wish you could get?
Well, the Pyramid Super Pro, I think that's made by PPI. Those are probably literally the best, but I don't know that a lot of the flea markets sold those. They sold the what was it called? The Gold series, and they did sell the Super Pro subs. I did see those at a flea market, but I don't know if they sold the white Super Pro amps, because the white Super Pro amps were the ones that, when you looked at the bottom of them, they're actually made by Precision Power. And it was at the time when Precision Power was doing stuff like for Crutchfield and doing stuff for what was it, Special Edition. There were several different, even the MTX MTA 225 was a Precision Power amp. So they did a lot of kind of OEM stuff. But those people that sell them on eBay know, because if you've ever seen those on eBay, they're like crazy high. They are even higher than the Precision Power versions.
Man, and no, I'm just gonna tell y'all, like, Precision Power doesn't do the power that it says. Very rarely does it do certified its numbers.
And I'm wondering,
that MTX MTA 225, compare that to a 225 HH or HO MTX did make, and see what the difference is.
Yeah, it's funny that, because when we go to Kicker, I want to talk to them a little bit about that. I remember the little amp that I tested that didn't quite do its power, and I think about something that Bernie Boland said to me years ago when I showed him my results of what I got for some of the amps, and he said the testing we did was at the circuit board. He said once you include all the wiring and stuff, and especially those old school amps that have the like 16 gauge wire that comes out on the pigtail, and he said, well, you're not going to get the wattage there. It's at the circuit board. And then it made me think, because that's what Kicker had mentioned before about the little small amp that I tested. Said, well, it does it at the circuit board. It's kind of like, my engine, it does 380 horsepower at the crank, but at the wheels it only does 300. So but that's fine as long as they tell you that. But if they tell you that it's a certain amount of wattage, you would expect it to be where the speakers hook up.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, you want power, you want to know what it makes to your speakers. End of story.
Yep.
Let's see, Mitch X, do you plan to go to Slamology? I'd love to one day, but I have no current plans to.
Yeah, me too. Neither. Did we get Donnie?
Oh, we got a bunch. I missed them.
Okay. Big D cardboard fun. What's the cardboard for? Did I miss something?
You're breakdancing now?
I don't know. Maybe.
Did you have a breakdancing crew back in the day?
No, I do BMX, but I don't do breakdancing. So you won't see me do a demo of that and show off and make money.
El Fuego, he wants to know how long it took to build my new test bench. Basically, a Saturday. I typically try to only do like car audio stuff for like 4 or 5 hours on Saturday and then spend the rest of the time with the family. So that whole 4 to 5 hours I was working on it, believe it or not, even though it looks like I've done almost nothing to it.
What are the plans for next year's SPL challenge? I don't know. I don't have any plans for next year yet.
I'd love to do a 15 amp fuse challenge or a 20 amp fuse challenge. That'd be hard to regulate.
The people are going to be cheating that like crazy.
I mean, that was the whole point of this one, was the cheat, wasn't it?
That's true.
So it's not like they're winning big cash prizes. Let's see what we had.
Something happened with the comments. I saw them and they got reshifted. But the DD1 test tones used to be available at Demore Engineering, but they took them off, and I think they were like on iTunes or something. But I've got them, and I'm sure they don't mind if I share them. So if anybody needs them, I've got the ones from the DD1 and from the amp dyno. They're different because the one with the amp dyno have the ramping tones that go from way down low and minus 40 dB up to 0. And the DD1 has the solid tracks. So,
yeah, Brandon Hanna said he needs those files as well. And he bought a big beast of an amp. He's fixing to get some serious stuff.
So some people answered about the regulated versus non-regulated. Jason says regulated better dynamic headroom. Aaron made a comment too, and he says that regulated amps generally don't regulate below a threshold that the manufacturer is deemed to exceed the power MOSFET current. So that's a good point as well. So if you get too low on your voltage, then you're not going to have the benefits of the regulated power supply.
Yeah. Any of us planning to live stream the OSS meet? I'm going to do at least one while I'm there. Hopefully, not the whole thing, but maybe just a short little demo or something like that. So I'll do something. Well, assuming I get cell service. Did we get cell service last year?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
We'll have to see. Either way, we'll get up some footage.
Some, not a lot, because we never do. We're too busy having fun.
We talk about every year about actually hiring somebody to come do the video stuff so we don't have to do it. Even though we enjoy doing it, it's more fun. It's a lot of work to think about what you're gonna do when you're capturing videos. It's like I'd rather just kind of enjoy the moment.
Yeah. We're too busy talking to these fools.
Yeah, Taz, it was me that did that. And I talked about that last week. That was one of my more favorite of his videos that he did. Was where he went to the flea market and acted like he didn't know, and actually had his wife, I think, do the same to find out. Ask people, "Hey, I want a 500 watt amp," and one guy was like, "A real 500 watt amp or a 500 watt max amp?" He's like, "Well, at least the guy asked him, and at least he was up front." But he even got a Phoenix Gold or something, I think, which was not really a flea market amp, but he got some other audio tech or something too.
Yeah,
got some junk. I'm not sure that he ever finished. He did, but I don't think he ever finished it. I don't think he did all of them.
We know about that, starting a video series and never finished.
Yeah, well, if you do one and it doesn't do all that well, then it's like I don't really want to push this. Let's see. We see anything else here? I'm scrolling through.
I'm looking. I'm still in the where they're talking about all the stuff that was cool in the flea markets.
The Super Pros were mail order catalog amps. They could have been. I know that my local flea market sold the subs and want the red surround, and they had in fact, the numbers were like 1270 and 1295, and the number at the end was the ounce of the magnet, because the 1295 ones were beast. I mean, for back then, of course, they still only had like a 9mm X Max, but they were pretty beefy. And I don't know if I remember them having the Gold Series amps. I don't remember them having those white ones. And I think even then we didn't really know that they were true PPI amps. So it may have been like a hidden little gem. You would think they would.
Yeah, they
would mention that more
whenever they done it.
Yep.
Did a favorite head unit brand? Was it his theory is that the brand you started with remains your favorite?
No, my favorite is Alpine for old school.
Oh yeah.
I started with the Sony.
And I started with, I want to say I started with a Pioneer, and they're not my favorite head unit. Clarion would probably be one for my old school Clarion, or maybe even Nakamichi, like the 45Z or the 40Z. That unit was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I used to always want either Nakamichi or a Denon.
Yep.
And I remember I've told this story before, but I bought the Sony. It lasted about a year, and it started crapping out because the buttons wouldn't work. So I always wanted a volume knob. I don't like the push button for volume. I want to be able to turn a knob. So I got the 7903 Alpine. And I used it for years, and then if you guys may remember Sound City from all the stereo review magazines and stuff, they would always be in the back, and they'd always advertise. Well, they had the 950R, I think is what it was called, the DCT 950R Denon head unit. It was a CD tuner, and it was expensive new, but I think they closed it out or something, and I got it for like half price. I got that thing in. It lasted like 8 or 9 months, and it gave up. And I was like, I got to put my Alpine back in? This Denon sucks. So, yeah, after that, I was like, I'm never doing anything other than Alpine. Of course, that was back when Alpine was so much more expensive. Well, most of the Alpines were like, you couldn't really get a cheap Alpine. It was kind of like a Lamborghini. You go buy a Lamborghini, you don't really get one that everybody can afford. It was the real expensive stuff. Yeah. Of course, now it's different. It's not that way, but back then Alpine was kind of the cream of the crop, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially for the time that you were heavy into car audio. By the time I come along in, early or mid 90s, they were kind of already into some of the cheaper end stuff. They weren't with the 7909 and all that. But I don't know if you've seen any of Everyday Audio's stream last night, but that's what Fade was talking about. He said, I'll never own a CD player or a head unit that does not have a volume knob. I was like, I couldn't agree more. I'm not getting a push button. I won't never get a double din because it has push buttons. I'm not going to do it.
And I don't know why, because they have so much room with them being double dins, why they don't put volume. I think Sony still puts the volume knob on their double dins. Some of them, maybe not all of them, but let's see. Somebody asked a question here.
Did you get that one?
I saw that one. So Rob saw some pictures because I got my new iPhone with all the cameras on the back, and I took an interior picture of it last week as I was pulling the seats out of the back. One, I wanted to know how they came out, and they're all held in with pretty much just hooks. They're hooked in, but I took the rear seat out and the little armrest and the base of the seat.
Yeah,
dude, I think it's like the original springs from 1937. It's got burlap that covers up the springs, and then they put the new cover over top of the burlap. And I'm like, wow, that is old school right there. But I had to clean up underneath the seat and stuff like that. So I just pulled the stuff out and did that. I haven't done a whole lot else. Nothing else yet. It's getting ready to get to my buddy's shop so we can work on it and make it a true runner. But
I'm sure those springs they've had a lot of wear on them.
Yeah, they're pretty soft, dude. You sit down, it's like you whoop, oh, there I go.
There might have been a middle-aged man made on that.
It's very possible.
Or an old man. That's an old car.
Yeah, my Sequoia is a 2001, and it's got right at 200,000 miles. And we started to have some issues with antifreeze and not staying up and everything. And we got it looked at, and I thought it was the water pump was like seeping, because if it seeps, and you'll lose antifreeze and stuff. But then when he got it in there, he's like, oh, yeah, your radiator's got a leak in it. So I had to do the 200,000 mile service, which includes the timing belt, water pump, the cam seals, all that good stuff, new spark plugs, all that mess. But it was expensive, so I had to do that. But I don't have a car payment, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, as far as being able to do stuff to the blue car, the 37 Ford, it put me back a little bit. Punch me.
Yeah, here you go. Dude. Man,
that ain't gonna happen unless I lose about 60 or 70 pounds.
Oh man,
I wanted somebody to challenge me, like to do a wheelie all the way around my whole circle. It's 0.6 of a mile.
Yeah, do it.
But no, I gotta have some serious throw on that, because that's gonna take me a long time to work up to that.
Mark asks, is it true that all old schoolers are bald? I don't know, Mark. Are you old school? Because you had a beautiful head of hair last time I seen you.
Yeah, we can't all be Fabio models like Mark. So
yeah,
some of us have to go for the Kojak look.
Oh man, Donnie Tuttle talks about the Audio Dynamics extended stay on the DSPs. Was it 4 in, 6 out, $99 to the end of the month? Yeah, I might have to get in on that. Check that out. 4-volt pre-outs too, not 2-volt like the Dayton.
Oh wow.
So good looking out, Donnie. Evanfield, Scurry, Texas.
Yeah, and for those interested in PPI, because Mark talks here about PPI. Yep. I'm getting an interesting PPI in here soon to test. I'm just giving a teaser because I'm not going to tell you which model it is. But let's just say that you don't see very many of them. That's all I'm going to say. And it's old school.
Old school.
Old school.
Yeah, you need to bring that back. Some of the old big D-isms from back in the day.
I don't let them go.
I miss them. I miss them.
The OEM PPI wasn't designed to the same standard. Yeah, I mean, they're obviously PPI doesn't want their clone amps to be as good as their own. I remember when they did that, was it the 50 watt by 2 challenge in the car audio and electronics? They had the MTA 250, which was made by, it was MTX, but it was made by PPI. Yeah. And then they had the ProMOS 50, which is the one Mark was just talking about. And the ProMOS 50 did like 423 watts, and the MTA did like 400 or 397 or something. In realistic terms, that's not that much, but I would not expect them to give their good stuff away.
No, for sure.
Have you ever heard of jab amplifiers? Was that a jab?
I don't know.
I haven't heard.
Hey, Thorne, what about, I know you heard of this, Total Mobile Audio.
Yes.
Weren't they affiliated with JL Audio in some
I thought way? So. I thought it was their cheaper brand.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. If we're telling lies, you guys got to keep us straight.
Yeah. Is someone coming to steal you back there?
You hear that? No, it was the ice machine. Orion XTR multi-channel amp. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people complain to me about not being enough multi-channel amps tested. And I think that's kind of true.
Yeah, that is true. Because
I think most people think about dyno, they think about, mono blocks or how much power they can do. I don't know. We'll look into it.
Oh, the third era amp comparisons, in-car response, review on JL Audio 10W7, no pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
Am I able to fiberglass over ABS material? Or is it a good idea? Yes, you can. I'm wanting to say Mark had a video on it, Car Audio Fab. He's got a video on just about anything you want to see, but his method is to drill holes through the ABS so that the fiberglass is on both sides of the ABS, That way it's bonding to itself, because it will not bond properly to the ABS. So if you drill the holes, it'll be bonding to itself running back, and you'll be good to go.
For the win. So Mark says that my audio and video is not synced properly.
Oh,
interesting.
I don't know. It looked pretty close to me.
I haven't changed anything on my setup this week, so it should be the same as it was.
Yeah, the more trouble you have with the camera setup, it makes me just love this little Logitech scene right here. Oh, it's so simple.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here.
I'm so far behind on there.
I started with a Super Tuner 2 shaft radio. Yeah, that's old school right there. Jesse says the Sony CDX C910. See, I'd already had such a bad taste of Sony. Even when they come out with the Mobile ES stuff, I was like, psh, forget Sony. Psh, give me some Alpine.
Rick's, he liked the 7850, and that was one of my favorite units, but the screen on it, just like the C90, absolute junk.
Sonny, it skipped like a flat rock across the lake. Yeah, I say it skipped like a schoolgirl on playing hopscotch, but that's pretty close. Yeah, the Incredible Universe. We had one of those, Jason. I think I told the story too, and I never went to it. I think they were owned by Circuit City, or either were bought by Circuit City at one time. But yeah, I never went to ours. I should have, because it wasn't
that
an
East Coast thing? I'm not familiar.
I don't know. I just know we had one here.
It could be. Oh, I'm so far behind in the comments here. Trying to catch up. Oh. Thanks, Brad. You're the man.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, have you seen he got a 85 Blazer with the hydraulics on it? The wire wheels? Did you see it?
No.
Oh, dude. I think you should. Yeah, there was a video on his page, Legends Cardio Facebook group. He's showing a video of it. He just picked up. It's sweet. I'd rock it.
I'll see if I can find it while we're looking for questions.
Yeah, okay. I'll go back through and see.
Oh, I see it. Okay, here we go. Let me share my screen. Oh, yeah. Look at that. He be bouncing.
Now he has to convert it over to PlayStation controller.
Let me make my screen a little bigger here so you can.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bring it to the meat, Brad. Drive down to Texas. Bring it to the meat. Oh, man. That's pretty dope.
Dope on a rope.
Yeah, he needs the PlayStation controller on it, man. That'll set it off. Be true old school.
Well, Brad, how many cars do you have, man? It's like the dude's got like 25 cars. He's like Jay Leno. He's starting his Jay Leno collection or something.
Maybe he's getting out of car audio and getting into cars.
Hey, it worked good for Hoovie's Garage.
Yeah.
Not that he was ever in the car audio, but
yeah. You know, Big D's getting out of car audio and getting into BMX.
I'm just saying.
Oh.
Till I hurt myself, then I'll be back. If the back seat is out, build a bigger sub-enclosure.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, now I've already put it back in, so sorry. Those new iPhones break so easy. Oh, please don't even go there. Please. Let's see here. First unit was a tape player jerry rig with a tape adapter. Yeah, hey man, we all had to do it.
Never hears us talk about Extant. I love Extant, but it was kind of a niche brand back in the day. But I had several amps. The first amp I really lusted over that was a Class D amp was the 1001D. That thing was awesome.
I had somebody local that brought me a 6-channel Extant, but I hate 6-channel test on the dyno, so I didn't even test it.
It's in the mail, D.
All right.
Okay.
Sean knows what it is because Sean worked on it.
Oh man. Ken asks, what's wrong with being follically challenged? Nothing, brother. We're with you.
Yep, nothing wrong at all. Panasonic head units, best interface. Yeah, I never really played with a Panasonic.
They had in my opinion, those had the best screens out of any head units back in the day. They had just awesome screens. You could do really cool stuff with them.
Yeah, Crutchfield amps were made by PPI. I mentioned that earlier. Oh yeah.
Oh man, but does it come with the briefcase? Does the amp you're talking about come with a suitcase?
No.
No. Hopes and dreams are crushed. Sorry, Mark.
I'm not sure that I'd even want to test one of those, honestly, because that's a holy grail that I would be afraid to touch. Kind of like the other amp that I have here, Rob, that you know about. That
yeah. Well, we didn't have a good track record. That was going to be touched, but then things happen and like everything went bad, guys. Everything went bad.
We blew up like 3 amps that one night. So we were like, yeah, I think we're going to stop now. We did not blow up the Phoenix Gold, the one, luckily, even though it had the power terminals.
That was the year before. We got lucky.
Oh, that's right. See, I get my years mixed up. You're right. That was last year.
My next plans for the XPL challenge, I'm using some Rockville K9s. Box is built. The subs are in there. It probably needs more bracing, but I don't got time. We're just going to put it in there, see what it do. I got a couple amps. Monday, a video will be coming out with my final runs for the challenge. I'm going to have some kind of update video for prizes and all that type of stuff, and we could talk about it next Wednesday.
What was the most embarrassing thing you've done on an install when you were inexperienced? I think mine is undersizing the power. I talked about it before. I used 12 gauge power wire back when I had my Punch 150 and my Alphasonic 50x2 amplifier in the car. Way under. I remember the wire getting hot too.
I've run some power wire through a door back when I was like before I could even drive. I've done that. I've had some very questionable grounds, and I've once blew up an amp touching positive and negative because I let the wires fray off when I just jammed the wires in there. So yeah, done it all.
You need to stop yawning. Can't find anyone dyno tar amps MD 5000.1. They may have one on the tar amps Facebook page. Those are pretty consistent. They consistently do rated, but I'm very curious what other people's thoughts on how they sound to you. What I mean by that is take a 5,000 watt tar amps and take a 5,000 watt Sundown or a 5,000 watt Orion or 5,000 watt anything else, and just tell me, what does it sound like to you on your subs? I mean, 5,000 is a lot of watts, but it's just different. It's hard to explain.
I mean, it'd probably be hard to tell at 5,000 watts. I imagine the first 500.
It would be easy to tell on a JLW7 with 1,500 watts, though, wouldn't it, Rob?
Yeah, for sure.
Some slacker needs to get to it.
Well, I mean, I know. Didn't you test the Brazilian amp when I was up there? One of them, you could hear it like when it was doing the test. You could hear the amp itself making noise. That's never a good thing.
Yeah, the 1 kilohertz tones, you can usually hear it. You hear the transformer whining.
Yes.
And we never knew that until we had the silent test bench with the batteries instead of using the loud power supplies.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Jason Zemer. Weekly 12-volt talk for the win. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Put yours
that's
up.
All right. I don't know. We'll see how things go. I kind of like Steve's approach and make things and sell them and make money instead of having a shop. But I don't know. We'll see. What was the one you had?
Oh, Matthew, the ISO run. He got to see it today. We got more coming Monday. So keep your eyes peeled.
So Brad, since you're on here and you're listening, we're gonna hit you up too to get you on this show. So just kind of we'll work out some dates and stuff for you because we want to talk about your wild escapades of all the stuff you find and all that. So we'll hit you up.
Oh, I'm caught up. I'm caught up on the chat. Cool, man. What do you say we wrap it up and go into chat for a little bit after this last question?
Yep. So how come nobody's tested the other PPI black ice amps, 5 cans smaller? The Memphis Bell 5-channel, 1100 watts. I actually did test that one, and it was a very long video because 5-channel amps, I tested each channel individually. I tested them bridged. I tested the sub-channel, had everything loaded, and it was just a really long video, and I never put all the clips together. I think I might have shared it with my Patreon subscribers before, and I just kind of put all the clips together and I didn't really edit it. But that one did 1100 watts on the sub channel, but it needed like almost 15 volts, 14.8, 14.9 volts. PPI Black Ice, I haven't played with those very much, but from what I've seen, they're pretty impressive for the price.
Yeah. And there's so many budget amps out there, man. It's like it don't matter how many budget amps you could test. There's always another one that someone's asking you about. So,
yep. So, Rob and I talked about that before the show, and thank you guys for the questions. We're going to cut the show a little bit short this week because we took the questions and we're going to do an after chat here and talk to the YouTube community for a little bit. I think Rob and I both have kind of a hard out here in just a little bit, so we're trying to get this done. Thank you guys, as always, for watching or listening, however you consume the content. But if you are listening to the audio version, make sure you check us out at youtube.com/12etalk, and you can see us live in person and all that good stuff. And also those who are here watching, if you have any show ideas or questions or comments or anything nice to say, you can email us at 12btalk@gmail.com. If you have something to complain about, you can send it to my secretary, and that person's not working here anymore. So that's all I have to say about that. But no, seriously, thank you for listening to us and watching. We are going to try to have more guests in the future. We may change the frequency of the shows. I think we've already told everybody that, but just in case you didn't hear that before, we may do that. So, Rob, I think we've got a list of the super duper chats.
I got them here. Not only are they super chats, they're super homies. The Third Era, Straight Clippin', Rick Quattlebaum, Brandon Hanna, Donnie Tuttle, Brad at Legends of Car Audio, and Jason Zemer. I stumbled through it, but we made it. Also, if you're on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit us up on YouTube. So we're doing the Facebook thing just because it's easier for people to watch. So either way, really. But I appreciate the subscription on YouTube. It does help.
Yep. And Facebook is the devil, but we will show the devil our faces too, I guess. So, yeah, that's it for this week. Those who are watching us live, stick around with us and we'll answer some more questions and we'll talk BMX and we'll drive you crazy just like we always do. So until next week, thanks again for watching or listening. We are out.
Peace. Later. Bye.
Peace. All righty.
Yeah.
Let's see here. US Acoustics. I don't know, man. I thought we did see quite a few of those.
Yeah, those were the blue ones, right? The X series.
Mike asked a very deep question. This is like a job interview question.
Yeah.
Rob, where do you see this show in the next 5 years?
I told you guys, SEMA or CES, the big stage, doing the show, interviewing the big people. with the big dummy style.
All right.
We're still getting there. We're getting there very slowly, but trust me, it's going to ramp up straight to the top.
As Big Dummy says, slowly but surely.
Yeah. Rick the Rock Quaddle-Bomb. There we go. Oh my God. I don't know why, man. I'm so tired. I'm messing everything up.
Speaking of that, have y'all seen the new wrestling? I didn't watch it, but somebody was telling me that they got some new wrestling series to compete against the Vince Vaughn. Not Vince Vaughn. Not Vince Vaughn. What's his name?
See, I'm killing it.
Yes, Vince McMahon. Yeah. They've got a different, and somebody said they had Tony Schiavone as one of the. Do you remember Tony Schiavone? He was like
I remember that name, but
he was a big announcer for like NWA way back in the day. Then back when the Road Warriors and the Rock and Roll Express and Dusty Rhodes and. Anyway, I missed it, didn't see it, but I think they said it comes on every Wednesday night, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it unless I record it.
Hey, do you got Hulu?
No.
Oh, they got a new Wu-Tang show. It's like about telling the whole story of how Wu-Tang. I don't know if you guys are into that, but that sounds. I mean, it looks legit. It looks awesome. So if you've got Hulu, check it out. The Wu-Tang. I can't remember what it's called, the name, but it looks very good.
Did you see, this is a little off subject, but somebody just sent me an instant message on Facebook that asked about it. Did you see the guy that was 3D printing the new designs for the Rockford DSM amps? And they actually printed a 360X6 emblem.
For the one you have?
Yeah, somebody actually is putting those amps together or something. They're like fusing a couple of the 60 by, I can't remember, but anyway, somebody actually printed off, and it looks so authentic. It looked really slick. I might get one.
Yeah, that'd be cool, especially for yours since it's such a rare amp. Thanks again, Brad. Brad just hit us up again. He said he slipped his disc. Oh man, I got like what they call it, sciatica, where it goes the nerve down to your back. And man, it just hits me out of the blue sometimes, and it's been trying to act up. So I feel your pain.
Yeah, that's the worst. Being tall and being a big guy like us, like we are. Your back, man.
Yeah.
Of course, it hurts. It doesn't matter what size you are. If you hurt your back, it's bad. But the bigger you are, the more weight you put. Yeah, and the more often it happens too, I think.
Mark asked that he missed the announcement. So the basic thing is we're considering, since we've had a lack of guests, we're trying to get on that. We may scale back a little bit. We've had a bunch of stuff come up in life, so it's made it difficult every week to keep it up. So we're exploring our options. Nothing's set in stone yet.
Yeah, the big thing about it, Mark, and I think you probably understand this, and everybody else does too, is we don't want to do every week just to do every week. We want to do every week and be able to we want to be able to do it on a schedule where we can get the most or give you guys the best content we can possible. So if we feel that the every week thing, we're just being rushed, which is kind of how we feel now, and we're not able to get all the content out there we want and get the guests that we want, because we keep trying, to come up with content every week and do it. And it's a little overwhelming with everything else that's going on. So we're trying to make it better for the viewers too. We want to make sure that we get more content that's more interesting for you guys. So it's not doing less just because we're slacking off. We're doing less because we're trying to get better content. What do they say? Less
quality,
less quantity, more quality. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Brandon Hanna, he's down with the Wu-Tang.
Is Scott Hall up in the house?
Oh, there he is.
Doctor. What would it take to get Ron May to bring back? That's a good question. We'll have to ask old Ron May.
And those ants, man, they were so cool looking, but they had they showed off the guts, which the guts are terrible. But It was a cool looking amp, and it was cool that they had the plexi on there, anyways.
Yeah, somebody asked about me having a car stereo shop. Yeah, Brad has got the car stereo shop. I think it's virtual. Like he sells most of it on eBay and stuff, and I don't think he like allows people to come up unless he does. Like, Brad, you put out like a weekly ad or something on the local Facebook group saying, "Hey, come out to my house and I got a discount this weekend for."
Nope, not.
Yeah,
Man.
dang, brother, you got so much stuff. It's like, wow. And he's always going out and getting more too. It's like he's gonna outgrow that building he has. It's gonna be like Kicker and Sundown having to get a new facility.
Yeah. We need new. Speaking of new facilities, the mother-in-law has found herself a place. I'm gonna be back in my room. I'm gonna
What?
This time it's gonna be fully set up. It's not before it was my man cave. Now it's just gonna be the streaming room, streaming, testing, little photo booth area, all this in a 10x12 space. So
now we're talking.
yeah.
Eric is true. Going back to the me using 12 gauge, the Punch 150s did come with 10 gauge power wire, and it was like a 20-foot run to go all the way to the front of your car. So me using 12 gauge was only a slight stretch of reality.
Yeah. Hey, look who just joined up.
Dean in the house.
Dean. The man who never sleeps.
Absolutely never sleeps.
Oh man.
Dean, I'm gonna have to get up with you because we're going to Disney. I can't remember if it's March or April. I'll find out when it is and see if you guys are going to be there because I'll try to take some time to swing by and see you if I can. If hopefully you guys will be there.
See, what you should do is just visit them and then skip Disney. It's not that fun.
I know, but I got kids. And it's all about spending time with them. But actually, the first time I went to Disney, I was thinking that, Rob, that it was going to be a bummer and everything. I actually had a really good time. So
I'll tell you, the place that I had way more fun than Disney was the I forget what it's called. SeaWorld owns it, and it's just a little place where they only let 1,000 people in a day. You could swim with the stingrays and the dolphins, and it's all inclusive. Oh, I can't. Discovery Cove. That's the one I love. Discovery Cove. That was an absolute blast.
Brandon, we can't say one of those words or our audio starts getting jumbled.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Aaron says it best right here. And it's been shown off like on Sam Bearvid's videos where he kind of, broke it down and explained the way we call them Brazilian, but they're
full bridge.
Full bridge, but Brazilian, it seems like every Brazilian amp except for a handful are set up that way. And yeah, their components are pretty cheap and
Matt does a full bridge, so they're not all bad. Oh, thank you, Jesse. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Go to the Star Wars area of Disney. That would be cool. Now that I would want to see.
Yeah, for sure. They are loud and sound heavy, but not clean power. It's hard. Yeah, it's really hard to describe. Oh, and look at this: the Tar Amps 3000.1's $189 on eBay on Amazon.
You know what? I almost want just to buy one of those just to have to test when I'm testing things. I mean, $189. That's ridiculous.
I like this idea. That sounds like a retirement job.
Yeah, there you go.
But the problem is, by the time I get to that point, then nobody's going to want to see this stuff anymore. So,
well, hey, that's the 12. That could be your 12-volt talk future. We drive around in a RV filled with systems, and we do it like what's that called? Where they go to someone's house and fix something up. Was it not overhauling? Overhauling took it to a shop, but we're gonna be like the mobile.
Squad.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And we're going to go but we're gonna bring real professionals to do it, and then we'll just be there cracking jokes and saying dumb stuff because that's what we do.
Can we get Christy Lee to help us?
Yes, I want.
Okay.
Yes,
I also want Courtney Hanson to help.
Courtney Hanson, good pool.
Yes. Yeah. She.
Yeah, the power block, man.
Yep. Yep. She can help anytime. All righty. Let's see here.
Oh, Mark did say stop talking. I did hear some static whenever.
See,
Deity
it happens.
Deity, they're onto him.
Convert 53-foot trail into a museum.
Oh, that'd be dope. Oh, look at this. A boy from down under. Terrence has been banned from DB drag clamp classes.
Is that still a thing, or I thought they were for one time and they were allowed again, or is it still a thing?
I don't know.
Skip, if you're still there, fade somebody else, confirm, deny.
Jason Zemer picking up 2 10-inch solo barracks tomorrow. Have you heard these? Yes. Love them. They're the best. The round solos.
I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have them, man.
If you don't know what he's talking about, then I'm sorry. Your life is not your life has not been fulfilled.
Dean said he's in. He's got this perfect streaming setup. You get on there and let Dean do all the hard work, and you could just be the guest.
Oh, that would be fun. What's the most powerful 5-channel amp y'all have tested? For me, it's been the Memphis that we talked about earlier. They call it the Big Bell, which was the something 5.1300 or something like that. I don't remember the MCH or something, but it was the older one. It was the skinny one.
Yep.
It had the airplane on it. But I think probably the Rockford Power 1000, the 25 to life one, might be more powerful than that.
Oh yeah,
I've never tested one of those. I've not been able to get one. I wish years ago when they had them on clearance for $4.99, I would have got one. But
they should make more, man, with the staggered power setups. I mean, 5 channels. I like them. A lot of people don't, but I do. I don't like testing them though.
The Phoenix Gold, we talked about this before, but the Phoenix Gold are the ones that have you can redirect power to the other channels. Remember?
Oh yeah.
I need to hit them up and see if they'll send me one. Yep, and see if they'll send me one to test so I can show that, because that's really cool.
You've seen Brad got 6 of the stage 410s. Now I'm telling you, man, Crutchfield was running a deal where you got the stage 4 amp and the 10. They were selling them for like $229 shipped, free shipping. You know, you got both those. I just tested that amp, so you can see what that amp done on my channel. It done very well. But I drooled over those 10s, and for some reason, man, I did not buy one, at least one. But yeah, those 10s are dope.
Oh, link to the Texas OSS Facebook group. I will do that. I'll put it here. So
we're going to have a whole show next week too. I mean, although it being so close, it might help you guys.
Give me a minute and I'll do that.
Oh, here you go.
Oh yeah, Peregrine. It's funny. A lot of the old school brands kind of did a comeback, and they've done a run and made some stuff, but Peregrine is nowhere to be found. And I don't know why. I'm going to post this in the comment thing, but I'm not sure why I have 2018 OSS Fall, because this is actually the 2019 link.
I think they changed the name when you click on it, but it was originally the 2018 group. So
yeah, that's probably why.
Dean says 5 channels are king. That's for sure.
And I know that Dean's going to be very happy with that new audio control, the audio control 5 channels that are coming out, because those look very exciting. And then Rob, what about, yes, they did. They gave away those 25 amp. What about the Audio Dynamics 6-channel that we both wanted to get. That we,
dude.
Oh, that one looks so nice too.
We need 2 of those. Make it happen, Aaron.
Aaron, yeah, we need to test some of those for you.
Yes.
And show it to the YouTube world. And I don't sell my soul for people, but man, I really want to try one of those out.
What's it like 170 watts by 4, and then I can't even 300 watts by 2 at 4
something like that. Yep.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I don't think I have a Scar RP 2000. I think I sold mine, and I had to. That's one of the ones. Rob and I always talk about this, about selling stuff, and then the amps having problems. That one had problems. The guy had to send it back to Scar, and then they sent him a new one, another refurbished one that was in worse condition than the one he sent.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't like selling cheap amps like that because it never works out well.
Well, when you send them the amps that are typically abused, a lot of times you're going to get someone coming back on it. So we decided next time Derek's just going to do a free amp, $200 shipping, no warranty.
I like Rob's idea. I actually tried that. Somebody was interested in the Com 1 MA audio.
Yeah.
I told him amp is free, shipping $1,350. Or you can pick it up for $1,200.
Yeah.
If you'd like. That's the pickup fee.
Oh, let's see. The Soundstream DaVinci multi-channel. Was that a Soundstream? We had such a bad time with. That was terrible, man.
It was a Tarantula, a TR2000. That thing blew up so hard, boy, it scared us. Yeah. Yes. I believe we all had to go scrape out our pants afterwards.
That was I'm going to say that I called it that thing was a piece of junk as soon as we seen it, and we looked inside of it. I was like, it's a piece of junk. Then fire happened. Legit fire.
It was one of the scariest amp dyno explosions I've had yet. And unfortunately, I had the camera going, but I had the camera on the dyno. I didn't have another one set up to catch the amp or catch our expressions, which would have been hilarious because we all just freaked out.
That was funny. Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah, man. I think, what do you think?
We're about there.
Good? Yeah. Yeah, Third Eye is talking about the one they sent to you with no protection. Yep, it was Big D. He got the one. It was messed up.
Yeah, and I've chatted with Shane because I think Dean used to work with Shane, or they know each other. But Shane is big at Scar, and he needed some help with his dyno. So Dean sent him to me, and I gave him a couple pointers. But yeah, I should have told him at that time that of the experiences. That's why I like to buy stuff just like y'all do in a lot of cases, because I want to get the same experience that you do. And when I got that, I'm like, guys, come on! They threw some butcher paper in there and didn't even cover the whole amp up, and it just got beat all to crap. I'm like, you can't ship an amp like that. Go get you some pool noodles, and at a minimum.
Yeah, we know a guy that made a whole video about it
years ago, but yeah. But the other thing that's really neat, especially if you have a company where you ship amps, you would think they would buy those what is it, the expanding foam? Like you put the amp in there and spray the expanding foam. Like I know Crutchfield does that, and that'll protect your stuff really good.
Yeah, every time I bought something off eBay, I sent them that video. They probably hate me, everyone that I buy, but at least it makes them think.
Dude, the last amp I bought off of eBay, I asked the guy, I said, please, I know that you have 900 and something feedback and you have like 4.9 out of 5 star, whatever the number was.
Yeah.
I said, please pack it well. Oh, yes, I always do. I should have videoed it, man. I got it in, and it was not the worst I'd seen, but for somebody who should have known better, it was not good. It was not good at all. He didn't protect the amp. He didn't protect the amp well, but it still worked. It's the the Jensen that I haven't shown yet, the 5-channel Jensen that's actually still on the bench.
Oh, I got a big 5-channel boss I need to test.
Yes, you do. That's the slick daddy looking.
That thing looks cool, man.
It does.
I wouldn't mind running that. See what it does.
those Soundstream amps with the spiders look like they went on a shopping spree at Dollar General.
Not even Dollar General, Dollar Tree, where everything's really only $1.
That's right. All right, guys. So we have gone above and beyond our allotted time here. Thank you, as always, for hanging out with us. We will be here next week because we're going to do a pre-show for the OSS meet.
Yep. Talk
and
about
then after that,
school.
we might take a little bit of time.
Yep.
To gather our sanity.
Yep. We're going to talk about the old school SPL challenge. Talk about the meet. Yeah. It'll be a good time. Next week. Same time, same place.
Peace out.
Later.
Y'all have a good week. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next week.